All right, here we go. Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything USA. So, hey, today I hadn't seen this video yet. Grant Cardone's got out. I thought we'd put that in and we'd talk about that. Uh, who we got? Who we got here? Right off the bat. Maybe we can get a couple people to call in. A couple things I want to talk about also. I've seen some other. I've actually, I started the second mentorship class, and I've gotten quite a few comments about other mentors. Hey, Hector, how you doing? Or Heckmere, sorry. But we could take some calls if somebody wants to call in. We can talk about some things too. I've got. Sorry, I opened up late here today. I got a bunch of guys working out here. I've got the property that I'm buying. The 5 acres commercial. That looks like that's going to be a no-brainer. I am going to make a lot of money on that, I think. So if you just got here, first time been here, my name's Tom. I wrote a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. You can see it above my head there. It's been a bestseller, is a bestseller on Kindle and Amazon, for Amazon Books. And that led to me doing a mentorship, which I'm doing my second one already. Out of the first one, we have some great testimonials. By their own count, they've made over, both of them have made over $200,000. And of course, that's not going to happen for everybody, but that's the best thing about real estate. You never know what you're going to make. You know you're going to make money, you just don't know how much. Sometimes you really hit a home run and really knock it out of the park, which is really, really cool and really fun and exciting. And, and that's what's fun is laying awake at night going, oh my God, are they going to sign? Is it going to close? And then it closes, and then you go, oh my God, now what do I do? And I've been doing that for almost 40 years now. So I really want other people to experience my lifestyle. It's been amazing. It really has been. It's been a very, very good life, and I'm, I still got a lot left, I hope. But so let's go over here to, let me see. Cue up this Grant Cardone thing. Here we go. So we'll get back and we'll look at Grant Cardone. So I hadn't seen this video yet, and if you guys know, you know that I'll tend to fast forward through stuff, or not fast forward, but I'll play it at a higher speed. This one isn't long anyways, it's about 5 minutes. So if you just got here, let's just get this rolling, and then we'll come back and talk about some other stuff too. This, again, I may fast forward or put it in high speed. We'll see what happens.
My cash accounts, pay my house off. God, man. Get a team.
Maybe I guess I did see the first 20 seconds.
Real important. I didn't know this for years. I got my partner out there, Brandon Dawson. He's taking me to the airport. And we're using his plane. He's going to bring me. Now, he's going to drop me off where I'm going. And the reason I'm telling you that is because when I was growing up, starting my own business, I was just thinking about me. I was thinking about how to get my money right. How do I get my team right?
And now he's thinking about you.
My net worth, my cash accounts, pay my house off. God, man, get a team. Get on a team. And make sure everybody on the team is doing good. Don't worry about your jet money. Worry about their jet money.
Don't worry about your jet money. Worry about their jet money. Once you get on a team and worry about somebody else's jet money, that's funny. Maybe he's not driving his jet because it's a little expensive right now. I can tell you it's no cheap thing to maintain a jet, and especially when you don't have anywhere to go, and he really doesn't have anywhere to go. He was doing shows all over the country. His 10 times things and all that stuff's done. He can't do anything right now. And it's probably mostly political. They don't want them. They don't want people in herds right now. And although it's pretty ridiculous, because I can tell you, I've been on airlines. I've been flying around the country here recently myself, and we're shoulder to shoulder on United Airlines. And, but then when we get on the ground, we're supposed to stay 100 feet apart on the beach, so it's pretty silly. But let's keep watching Grant.
They say what's better than your own jet? A friend that's got one. And somebody you can work with, a partner that's doing well enough, employees that are doing well enough in your company. Not that they'd all own jets, but they'd all be doing well enough in their business so you don't have.
Okay, this is always the same thing. This is going to lead to Grant saying, trust me at Cardone Capital. I'll never do you wrong. Cash is shit. Send me your money. Same old bullshit. Let's just see. Let's watch the rest.
To do everything. This is something you apply in your life right now. When you go to a restaurant in the morning, you go partner with a restaurant. It could be McDonald's for fast food, or it could be this little place that I'm at in Denver today. Beautiful, beautiful little hotel restaurant when you go on a trip. Thank you so much. It's awesome. Appreciate it, okay?
Yeah, have a great holiday.
Okay, take care. Oh my God, I got my hands full. When you go on a trip, you get a hotel. You don't go get a tent. You get a team. You get the Marriott or the Hilton, or in this case, Halasan. I think it's called the Halasan.
He does better on script.
See, I need a team.
This is a shit message.
This is my partner right here, Brandon. Okay, good dude right there. Team, baby. Team. Okay, I get in the car this morning. I got coffee. He's taking me to his plane to drop me off where I'm going. Need a team.
Hang on, I got to hear what this guy's last name again is. I think he might have the same last name as me. I think he said Brandon McKay. Let's listen.
Halasan. I think it's called the Halasan. See, I need a team just to help me.
I think it's the Halcyon.
This is my partner right here, Brandon. Okay, good dude right there.
I think
Team, baby.
Oh my God,
okay,
I might be related to that guy.
Morning, I got coffee. He's taking me to his plane to drop me off where I'm going. Need a team, man, and you need the team around you winning. So I didn't know that. Nobody said, hey, Grant. Everybody said, get your money right, Grant. Nobody ever said, what about the team? The team's got to be getting their money right. They got to have the right product lineup, making the right money, so he can pay for the jet fuel. He can buy the coffee. Okay? How many of you out there, you're sick and tired of being around a bunch of deadbeats? Nobody's got any money. Bill comes out, everybody suddenly needs to go to the restroom. You're left there. You're left there being, oh shit, I got to pay the bill because you're the only one with money, man. You created that. I created that in my life where I had people around me that were busted and broke.
You don't want to be busted and broke. It's no fun to be by yourself.
No, dude, you got to get people around you with money. That's why the dream, that's why so many people misunderstand the 10X rule and they think, oh, the 10X rule is just about their money. 10X rule is about surrounding yourself with 10 other people that can, I'll buy the jet fuel today.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought the 10 times was 10 times your growth. I did not know it was. I didn't know it was that message there.
When you got friends that contribute and bring things to the party, and everything gets bigger, everything gets more fun.
Yeah. So I just wanted to come to you this morning and just tell you something that I didn't learn it early on. I wish somebody would told me this when I was 20. Get a team. Make sure your plans, your business plan, doesn't just pay off your house or get you on a big vacation. See, a lot of business owners do this. They're the only one winning. I think Jay-Z says, if everybody around me is broke, I can't be rich.
All right. So listen, I think we know where this is heading. He's gonna, he's looking for partners to send him money. Here's the deal. If you have money, you don't need a partner. I'm telling you, you don't need a partner. If you have money, you don't need a partner. Okay. People that need partners are people that don't have money. Okay, and I don't think Grant is looking for partners that don't have money. He's looking for partners that have money. Okay, people that want to throw their money at Grant, go ahead, do it. What you'll get is a lesson. Okay, you'll get a lesson. And the lesson I would think you're going to get is a fool and his money are soon parted. You put your money in something where you don't have the control, you're not going to be able to touch your dough when you need it. He calls it dough, right? And is dough and cash flow, okay? And cash is shit, and sell your house and, and send your money to him and be a partner. Well, you don't need a partner if you got cash. If you got cash, listen, this is what I've done my whole life, okay? Since my whole working life right here, is make money in real estate, and I did it by myself. In my introduction to a partner, looking for a partner, because I didn't have the cash, I was looking for somebody who had the cash. They said, "Hey, Tom, you know what? I don't really want to be a partner." He was smart. He said, "I don't want a partner." He goes, "How about I just give you some money to go away?" And that's what he did. I found the deal, and I could have a partner. I started with a couple of partners on some little houses. They had the money. I found the deal. That's what I'm good at, finding the deal. And then pretty soon I had my own money from, after splitting the profit with partners, 5-6 times. And I'm only talking I made $5,000 to $15,000 on my first 5 partnerships, okay? But then I looked for a bigger partner on a property I was going to buy for $150, I think, and it was worth $220. And it was my old boss. I went to my old boss because he's a source of money. I said, "Hey, boss, let's buy this thing together." And he said, "Man, Tommy, I don't want a partner." He goes, "How about I give you $20,000 and I just buy it by myself?" And I'm like, "Wow, that's a fantastic deal." And I love that idea. And so that's what he did. He gave me 20 grand and I went away, and he made probably 50 to 70 and I made 20, but I made 20 in one day. He wrote me off a check and that was it. It was done. And that is what I teach you in my book. My book's a bestseller on Amazon and Kindle. Get my book. This is $10. Get ripped off for $10 or $20. Okay, don't get ripped off for tens of thousands of dollars or whatever you have in your bank account. Because as soon as one of these guys smells that you've got money, believe me, and they're like a shark. They can smell blood. They can smell blood or money in the water, and they're gonna focus on taking it away or getting you to invest it with them, which to me is the same thing. The power of investing your own capital and being your own boss and being in control of your own money means that you have all the decision power. You want to sell it? Take your money, take it. You want to go to the bank and pull some of the equity out of the deal that you have, the property that you have, you can pull that out. I'm getting $1 million line of credit right now, and I'm going to use that to build some stuff on top of the property that I'm paying cash for right now. And I'm paying cash for the property from profits from other properties that I made money on. And that's what you do. You just get your cart rolling and you stay in charge of your own cart, and you'll just be a much better investor, but you'll be a much more powerful person too, because you'll have the money. You send your money to another person to hold your money and to invest it for you, you got nothing. I mean, you go into a fund like that, the bank is it's laughable. You can't borrow against it. They're just going to look at it and laugh at you. No, we need real money, and, or they say, "Can you sell it?" If you can't sell the asset, then they can't secure the asset. If they want to give you a collateral loan, you don't have any collateral. They don't consider a piece of a partnership is not really bankable. They're not gonna like it. So let's watch the rest of this and see what happens.
So get people on your team, have a business plan where your whole team is solvent, they winning, they're getting deep, they're getting invested.
It's so ambiguous too, the way he talks. It's just
they're winning, not sinning. Come on. And if they're all broke around you, it's because you set that up. Yeah. You're not thinking big enough, okay? Hope you enjoy this. Let me know what your comments are. If you got any questions, I look at my YouTube channel all the time. This is my favorite channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and anything we can do to help, we're here for you, okay? We want to expand the team. You want to join our team?
Sure.
Let's get that cash flow right for you and your family.
Show us a testimonial. Give us show us somebody that's made some money in specifics. Like, what's their share? What's their cut? How much did they make? That would be a fascinating video. The split you described when on the video that I did, the Freudian slip, you described a 40-60 split. You said you got 800,000 and the folks got 1.2 million. So that would be an interesting video to do specifics on and explain that split. Just break it down and show what you did for that 40% and what they did for their 60%. We can only speculate, right? Can only speculate. So who else we got here watching today? I can't see very well today. Let's see. Oh, hey, Chrissy, glad you're here. Risha. I can't even tell. How many people we got watching right now? Oh, oops. Is there somebody else you guys want to look at? We'll jump over and look at somebody else. Oh, God, I'm about to trip something else going. Oh, all right, great. So look, I've been investing for 40 years, and if you just got here, first time here, if you want to call in, you can call in. That's my number. You can use that number that you see at the bottom of the screen right now. That should work if you want to call. Anyways, or if somebody's got something to talk about. Oh, Flipping Mastery. He does stuff about flipping. All right, let's go check it out. We'll go do that. We'll look at this. Flipping Mastery. Okay. Let's see. That name has just come up recently, actually. And I popped over and looked at him for just a minute. He just bought an 11,000 square foot house, and I think he's got 10 kids or something. But I didn't really get too much. Let's go just look at his channel first. Let's go check it out.
Welcome to video 1 of this 2-part video series where you're going to look over my shoulder and watch me virtually wholesale a real live deal from start to finish coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Data Cruncher software, which finds cheap houses in your area. Get it now at mydatacruncher.com.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see what he's got here. He's always all about flipping. Bank-owned properties. What's he sell? Let's look at what he sells.
Welcome to video.
Let's see, sorry. Okay, show more. Let's look. All-in-one flipping software. Oh, he's got some other videos here. Flipping formula. Double dip technique. That sounds interesting. Oh, you can't. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Oops. Here you go. Thank you. You could hear it. Okay, so let me tell you what I did. I entered his channel, and it had a message, one of those automatically played, and then this came up, and I was trying to look and see what he has under his, what he sells. He's got 123,000 subscribers. That's pretty awesome. All-in-one flipping software. How to find flip-on market deals. It sounds a little gimmicky. A little bit gimmicky to me. Recommended playlist. Get paid $11,000 to find a deal for Jerry. Now this is interesting to me because I don't know. I mean, listen, I've paid people for finder's fees, okay, but really, it's rare I could ever do that with anybody out of state. Finding empty lots. Yeah, I don't know. A deal analyzer. By the way, you can get. I have an app I made called Flip Anything. Right now, I don't know why it's not on Google. They pulled it for some reason. It's been on for It's been there for over a year, and they pulled it for some reason. And anyways, but mine has some analysis stuff in it, and it's a really good way. But it's also a good way to share with people, even people you don't trust. You can share the property without the details, because you know me, I don't really trust anybody. I just don't. Not when there's money involved. I think that people compromise and mislead, and that goes for anybody that's going to get a commission on you. That's why I say don't trust anybody. And listen, one thing for see, it doesn't. Yeah, it looks like he has something for sale here, but he's not. He doesn't get to it, and I don't see the price. So let's see. So Jose, is he selling something? What's he selling? I mean, look, I got a book I'm promoting, and I've got a mentorship, which became this was a result of the book and the demand. Flipping formula. Can't stop nodding. Nodding off. Looks like the driver is a hobblehead. He sells a lot of stuff, huh? Okay. Well, see, that I don't understand. You guys know me. First thing I say is I got a book. I got a mentorship class, $600 if you want to take it. That comes out about, I think, 30 cents a year for every year I've been doing it. Oh, that's on the book. And I've got testimonials. Let's see if he's got any testimonials. That's actually something to check out, actually. Yeah, I know you wanted to look at him, Jose. Yeah, I know you are. I know we are. let's see, testimonial. See, this is what, when I see people, oh God, let's see. I gotta search his channel. Let's just take a look at his channel.
Welcome to video 1.
Okay, let's just look at, all right, somebody can help me. How do I just look for his videos within his channel? Let me go in here again. So look, I know how to make money in real estate.
Welcome to video
and
1
I can show
of this
you,
2-part video.
but I'm not the best audio visual guy. I never got that class in school. I always wanted to be the audio visual so I could get out of class. Okay, all right. So let's look at. He's got a playlist. I think we search here within his videos, testimonials. This is what I want to see. Okay, here's a testimonial. Success story. That sounds like a testimonial. And here's another success story. Here's a success story. Let's watch one of these testimonials.
Hello, my name is Mark Huffman. I'm from Illinois. Prior to joining the program, I was a business consultant for 35 years, helping companies improve their profitability. I joined the program.
Everybody hear that okay?
Career in real estate investing. And this is a good first step, and it feels great to have accomplished my first deal. I found the lot with the help of my real estate agent. I intend to use the money from this deal to further my investing career.
Right. This guy's not comfortable on camera, but
The advice I would give individuals just starting out is to be prepared to work hard and to address the issues that arise. Thank you.
okay, that was not a great testimony. He credited his agent, his real estate agent for finding him a good deal. I don't know. It just seems like, let's look at another testimonial. Let's see.
Hi. I really would like to thank Peter and Jerry for this wonderful opportunity. It teaches you how to invest in real estate, and I really have so much faith in both of them. It was such a great pleasure meeting them, and I do believe that
not
they
showing the
are
amount.
trustworthy.
Where's the money?
They
That
have
worries me.
such great integrity, and they're opening up such a wonderful program for people to have an
make this
opportunity
bigger.
to have people program for.
All right. This is something, I don't like this shot, and I'll tell you why. It doesn't show how much money she got. Is it $100? Is it $10? Is it $10,000? It says 1,000. So this is a carefully clipped. Listen, I don't trust anybody, right? I don't know this guy. I got no reason to think he's not legit. But you want to show how much money your people made. That's what makes it so cool, right? So look at this. If he gave her $10,000, right, you'd want everybody to know that. So it ends in 1,000, and it begins with a 1 and part of an O, or a 0. So is it 1,000 or is it 10,000? So I don't know. That smells to me a little bit, to be honest. I don't like that. But let's keep watching.
People to have an opportunity to have financial freedom. And I would
It's
just like to
10,000?
thank them,
Okay.
and I
Well,
look
I would show
forward
that off.
to doing other ventures with you guys. Thanks so much.
Yeah, I don't think he was doing himself. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Yeah, it's a, and oops, I screwed up. Okay, let's get back there. I don't think he was
Hi.
doing himself any favors for this reason. This is a much better. At least you see a 10. And so now it's $10,000. Okay. So it sounds like she made $10,000. And I guess this is his business. He wrote a check. Is this Peter? Are there partners? Is there a Peter with a Jerry or something? Or Jerry and Peter? Anyways. Yeah, I would have I would have made that a lot more clear. from the beginning because it looked a little. You guys follow me, right? It looked a little suspect when you get a shot like this to show the check that a person got.
And I do believe that they are trustworthy.
It's like a 1
they
and a
have
0.
such
and
great
it's not-
integrity.
But
and
I would
they're-
highlight that 10,000, so that's good. I'm glad to hear what you just said. No one ever gets, nobody gets to specifics. I do, but play one of his videos of him teaching. Let's see, check out. Okay, all right, let's take a look at that real quick. Actually, you know what? He had something in there that was part of his.
If you're a wholesaler or flip
Down in here, he had something that was interesting, I thought. He called it double dipping. There was like double dipping I just saw in here. The double dip. Kind of a catchy thing. Well, it was in that first video we saw. Let's just look here for just this double dip thing. Oh, no wonder I couldn't find testimony. I didn't spell it right.
or aspiring wholesaler or flipper, then you need to be aware of an emerging market trend known as iBuyers. Now, what are iBuyers and will they put an end to wholesaling and flipping real estate? Find out on today's video coming up.
For a limited time, you can get a free copy of Jerry Norton's Quick Start Kit with everything you need to flip your first house in 30 days or less. Download it now at myquickstartkit.com.
Well, there's a lot of free stuff right there. Yeah. So what is this? What does this thing cost? Do you know, what does this course cost, Jose? You've been watching it for a while. Yeah, the testimonials were 5 years old. I saw that. Yeah, that would be a concern to me if the vids are 5. I mean, again, look, I'm skeptical. That's the deal. It's no fun to just pat people on the back and say, "Oh yeah, that's great." So the vids, the testimonials that we saw were 5 years old. I see. Oh, here's the double dip vid. Are you going to send me the link? I'll click on it if you do. Funny buddy, go ahead and send it over. Oh, I don't see it. Where is it? I don't see it here. All right, let's just try this again. Double dip. Norton. Let's see. Double dip strategy. Here we go. All right. All right. I don't see it. It says, I mean, I'm showing it here. Where? Which one? Where's double dip? I don't see it. Buy the dip. Oh, that's different completely. Oh, here we go. How to get... Okay, all right. Is this him? Is this him? Okay. Is this the one you want, Heckmere? The second one. Okay, let's go.
I have to protect the one thing I can't live without, and that's you. Not you, but you. Jason, I'm not talking to you.
Oh, man.
Today what I want to talk about is the double dip strategy. This is something I've coined as what we call the double dip strategy. And this is a really, really cool technique to use. It's working with real estate agents in particular, okay? So remember, when it comes to real estate agency, typically there's two sides of the transaction. There's the listing agent. They have the contract with the seller. They're listing the property for sale. And then you have a buyer's agent. Now the buyer's agent, it has a buyer, takes that buyer to show properties, and then makes an offer. And typically, not always, but typically, there's a 6% commission.
Yeah, music's too
the listing
damn loud.
agent gets 3%, the buyer's agent gets 3%. But in a lot of transactions, there's two agents involved. Okay, now, when the listing agent happens to
I'm gonna
also be
speed
the
it up.
buyer's agent, we call that dual agency, right? They represent both. They have the listing and they have the buyer. What's cool about that, if you're a real estate agent, is you get both sides of the commission. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna create, strategically, a dual agency situation. Here's how we do it. Let's say that there's a listing agent and they've got this great deal. Now, as the listing agent, that listing agent's gonna be getting offers, probably from buyer's agents, and then let's say the transaction gets done, there's an accepted offer, that listing agent then gets 3%, and whoever the buyer's agent was gets 3%, right? Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the listing agent as the investor, and we're gonna say, listen, Mrs. or Mr. Listing Agent, I'm interested in this property that you have listed, but what I would like to do is I'd like you to represent me as my buyer's agent. Now, what did we just do? What we did is we basically...
Okay, golly, that was a lot of... I mean, listen, I say this all the time. Always go to the listing agent, okay? That was a big production about nothing. I guess I forget. Maybe some people are so beginner level that they don't realize this, but it's always an advantage. And this is what his double dip is. He's saying he's let the agent get both sides of the deal, and they're not necessarily going to get 6%. The typical thing is an agent. You give an agent a listing, presumably they can have a 6% commission, 3% to the buyer's agent, 3% to the listing agent. That's the norm. Okay. Now I don't necessarily do that. Listen, I think I'll give a 6% commission on a property up to, say, maybe $300,000. Once it goes over that, what I do is I'll go down to like 4.5%. And I tell the listing agent they're going to get 1.5% just for the pleasure of listing it. Listing, it's simple. They put it in the MLS, somebody else finds a buyer. That's how it works. They really don't have to do much for it. In fact, you'll hear agents advertise on your local radio show, they'll be like, yeah, I can do a great job. I want to make you money. I'm gonna, with my network of sales, I'm gonna get the buyer for you and all this other BS. The fact is, the agents can't do anything to sell the property for you other than put it in the MLS. That's the exposure. That's where everybody goes. That's the exposure. It's easy to do. Type it in, done. The things that they do beyond that are simply show up and unlock the door and walk people through. And so what I do is I tell those agents, I say, look, I'm going to give you 4.5%, 1.5% for listing it, which is nothing and easy to do, and I'll give you 3% or whomever that sells it. And that way it puts it upon them if they can get both sides, but sometimes I'll let the agent takes it in-house, right? They have the listing. Now, a lot of them, if they're really good agents, what they do is they don't really want to put it on the MLS immediately if they think they have someone within their office that'll buy it, because they get more of it. The broker will takes a piece, but they get a little bit bigger piece if they keep it in-house, all within their building. But on the double dip, back to what he's doing, he's just simply saying go straight to the listing agent. But it's a big production word. All you got to just say is go straight to the agent that has the listing. They stand to make twice as much if it's 6%. But either way, they stand to make more. They actually can stand. If the agent sells one of mine, they actually make triple, because they're only going to get 1.5% for listing it, but they'll get the other from the other side. But again, the agent, what he's talking about is true. What he's saying is true. I've never called it a double dip. It's just common sense for anybody that's an investor. They know you always want to go to the listing agent. There's several reasons for that. For one, they're the closest person to the seller. If you know how to talk to people, you'll understand that they can divulge things about the seller. They need money. They're hurting. Stuff like that. That's important information to gain out of it. But let's just see how he describes this.
Basically, in essence, said to that listing agent, I'm going to let you...
Okay, you guys keep up with it, right? It's not so high speed you can't keep up, right? Should I slow it down, or are you guys okay? I can hear it fine. I understand it fine. Is everybody good? Jose? All good. Okay, here we go. Speed is fine. Thank you. It's more efficient.
Double dip, because now you're going to represent me as the buyer's agent. You're already the listing agent, and what just happened? That listing agent now gets the full commission, the full 6%. Guys, I cannot tell you how well this works, because why? Think about it. If you're the listing agent and an investor comes to you and says, I'll let you be my buyer's agent and make an offer on this property that you have listed, you're now separating yourself from all the other buyer's agents bringing offers in, because now that listing agent's going to make twice as much if they get your deal done, your offer through. So what that listing agent will do is they're going to go to bat with the seller, right? They're going to work really hard to get your offer accepted. Because why? What agent doesn't like 6% over 3%? Okay. Now, I teach this strategy to a lot of people, and the people that actually take this to heart and do the double dip strategy, you'll find that sometimes you'll get deals for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 below other offers through buyer's agents. It's just how it happens. It's because you're motivating that listing agent. What I'll do is I'll take it a step further. I'll tell that listing agent, I'll say, hey, if you get a great deal, coming up or at any time, if you get a great deal, call me before you list it. I'll let you represent me as the buyer's agent. We'll get our offer in right away and get the deal done. And so you'll have listing agents, if you use this strategy, you'll have them calling you saying, hey Jerry, I've got this great deal. I'm gonna be listing it in a couple days. Why don't you check it out? Let's get your offer in. And sometimes you can get those really good deals. You can beat out other competition. And it's all about working with those listing agents. My goal is to have lots of listing agents that are active with either bank-owned properties or short sales or even private sales, having them contact me with their deals. The way you motivate them is using the double dip strategy. All right?
All right. I thought that was a big production about not very much information, to be honest, but there's nothing he said that was incorrect. That is all fine. That's all fair information. But what he didn't tell you is, and I'll tell you right now, is here's the advantages of getting directly with the selling agent. Because believe me, you're not the only one that might know the seller's agent, right? You're not the only one, but good chance they just dropped it in the MLS. Somebody else is bringing buyers. So if you can always work with the selling agent if you can, for the reasons he stated, that they stand to make more money. They're more incentivized. Once in a while you get an agent that's like paranoid. They don't even want it. They just like they want to. They feel like they're compromised, and they are. They're kind of like they got to be careful, right? They have a fiduciary duty to see every offer. Period. If they just give you favoritism, they really shouldn't. But again, you're there, you can push it. But what the real strategy, and he didn't mention it, but I can tell you, this is the real thing that you need to do, is you need to demonstrate to that agent. Sure, go directly to the one that gets both sides of it, but you need to demonstrate to that agent that you are 100% capable of closing the deal, and that you want it, and that you need to make the agent feel like there is no doubt you are going to close the deal, because they need to feel very confident that you're going to make the deal happen. Because otherwise, if two deals being equal and you get chose over the other one, and then you don't go through, you make the agent look terrible. And the agent has had that happen before, okay? And so the agent knows that, and so they still got to scrutinize, but it's your opportunity really to let them know that you are the most credible buyer. That's probably, that's what I would add to his. Plus I'd get rid of the music, Jerry. It's way too loud. It's louder than your voice. But it's, it's motivational, I guess. But anyway, so yeah. So we'll look more at him. I don't even know what he's selling, but look, I can tell you, I've been doing this for 40 years, just about 40 years, about to hit 40 years right now. I've been saying 39, but it's coming up soon. And really it's simple, This is just one little piece of what you need to know. But again, it's really about taking action, and it's about, I would say about 50% of my deals, and I'm a hypocrite on this. Sometimes I was counting deals a little while ago. How many deals did I use an agent for? And because it's a question I get. But most of my stuff is off market. When I was just reading through what Jerry has, it looks like he, in that testimonial, was he used an agent. And so, if that's the strategy, again, agents are important, but you don't really want to bring an agent into the picture. You go to an agent if they have the listing. It's kind of that simple. They're like a necessary evil. You have to deal with them if they're evil, but you have to deal with them if they have the listing. But ideally, you approach the owner and you don't have to deal with an agent at all. That's the best way. Anybody else? What else? Anybody want to talk about anything else or something else you want to? Jose, like I said, what does he charge? What does he charge for a class? I charge $600. I don't know what he charges. His top student did 47 deals in a year, all on market. Huh. Well, again, you don't need somebody to teach you to find deals on market because they're on market. They're out there. Everybody can see them. And I can tell you that my most profitable deals are ones that aren't they're off market. And I was actually thinking that through the other day. So check this out. And you can look at these videos that I have. You'll see that I bought a video, that I bought a property, a video of a couple properties. I've got one property. I made $1.5 million on it, and I didn't even own it. I went to buy it, and the banks wouldn't finance it. I ended up leasing it for 7 years, and I ended up making about $17,000 a month by subletting it for 7 years. See, Jose, that's stuff you got to look at. if all you do is look at the free stuff, there's nothing to worry about. But it's when and like I say, it's not obvious what he's got here, so I don't know if he's selling something. Somebody said he sells a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not obvious. I guess this is. It looks like you have to call to find out. The only thing I don't like about that is if you have to call to find out, that usually is like it's just kind of like trying to get your number and hard sell you. And I don't know if that's the truth about him. I have no idea, but I tend to like people that are upfront about what they have early on. I'm here to sell you something. Like me, I share with you. I've been sharing for 3 years before I even wrote a book, okay? And I even made an app for people to play with for free, and that was before I wrote a book. But the book, like I say, people try to shake you down for a lot of money for different things, and my book is peanuts compared to a course or a seminar or and my seminar and my course my mentorship, that's me personally training you and about 30 other people in a Zoom meeting. We do that once a week for a month, and then there's a Q&A that follows. I mean, that's like 2.5 hours. So we spent about 4 hours together every Saturday for 4 weeks, and that's the class. And then that's in the emphasis. You got to have the book. You have to have the book first, so that you can't take the class. I send you this booklet. You can't really see it, but I send you this booklet. It's a notebook that keeps you organized. It's just the way I've been doing it since I was 19 years old. It's just really important for staying organized and for doing the way I do. And most stuff I do buy is off market. But back to what I was saying. So on market, off market, I made over $2 million on a piece of land that was off market. Most of the buildings that I have, one of them. I bought a building. Now here's a success story that involves an agent. I got a really nice, and I still own this building. You guys have seen it in one of my videos before, but it's about a 12,000 or 11,600 square foot building. And I bought that thing for $240,000, and it just appraised. I mean, I pulled some equity out of it years ago, and so 5-6 years ago it appraised for $1.5 million. So that was a pretty knockout deal. What else? Okay, let's see. Malhati, how do you even grab a commercial property to even be in a position to sublet when you don't have any financial backing? Well, when I made my deal on that, I did have money, and I mean, if you agree to lease something, and you're going to put a deposit down, I always say, you test sincerity with the wallet. And people that don't, I make them. I let them know how sincere I am. I usually write a much bigger check than they ask for a deposit. The agent will say, I'll write it for $2,000, and I'll say, let's make it $10,000, because I want the buyer to know I'm serious. I'm going to close this deal, because. Funny buddy on that one, I actually kept it for a long time. I could have made $1 million on day one that I sold it. I could have flipped it immediately and made $1 million, but I made over $2 million too. I sold it for $2.8 million. I paid $200,000 for it. Although I bought the property next door, so I guess technically I spent $300,000 on it. But yeah, that one I could have flipped immediately and probably made $700,000 to $1 million. But I held it for a long time, because one of the reasons I held that is it had a 24-inch sewer main through it. It was ready to build on. It was really a beautiful property. It has 180 homes on it right now. And the reason I flipped it is because I took that money and I bought a $4 million building for $2 million, and I used that money for that, and I bought a couple other buildings as well. That's right. You only got 2 years left. I'm doing my mentorship. Listen, my boys are in high school, and they got 2 years left of school. And I am going to probably only do this mentorship thing that I'm doing for 2 years. So when I say limited time, I mean I'm only going to do it for probably another 2 years. I may do it beyond that. I don't know. But I might be doing it from Hawaii and different places. Not that that would matter to you. But, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I really enjoy it. I've already got 2 testimonials right off the bat out of the first class. And these guys are about 40. And, yeah, they do have a little bit of money. One's retiring, and he pulled some of his retirement fund out. And the other guy also, he's 40-something years old. You got to have some money by the time you're 40, a little bit anyways. And but man, the deals he was making, you didn't have to be rich to make the deals. He put $10,000 down, bought a property for $70,000, put $10,000 in it, and already took it down to the bank and got it refied at $150,000 value. So in other words, an appraiser came in and appraised the property that he bought, has $70,000 in, and appraised it at excuse me, 150, and then he really tested the sincerity of the bank and what the value is, because he pulled $100,000 back out, and that paid off the owner, and he made $30,000. And he's done 7 deals. Probably, it's been 2 weeks. He's probably done 2 more since, to be quite honest. Great. Oh, hey, Dave. Good. Yeah, read the book. I thought you had the book, man. You've been commenting for a long time. Should have had that book months ago. You probably missed a deal. I can say you miss them by minutes. You certainly can miss them by a month. Say you find a deal. This is from Risha, who's also active. Just say you find a deal you look to assign to a buyer, but you are yet to find one. Could you put a contingency that makes you sign a deal once a buyer is found? Listen, this is the beauty of real estate. There really are no rules. You can write as crazy a deal or contingency as you want. Now, if you can get the buyer to sign it, that's another thing, or the seller to sign it. That's a different thing. But listen, my first deal when I was 19, it was just very simple. I didn't have the money. But they were going to owner finance it. I said $10,000 down, owner financing, with a 6-month escrow, with the buyer having right to access the property. And they agreed. That, let me tell you, when I say access, I moved in and I quit paying rent where I was at. And in that 6 months, I saved the $10,000 because I didn't pay rent. And that's how I bought my first building at 19, owner financed. And, and it was that was the big eye opener. I was just really lucky that I got this lesson and early. I got it early at 19 years old. And I realized, oh my gosh. I mean, so think about that. I'm 19 years old. I don't have credit. I just got out of school. I don't have credit. Actually, I dropped out when I was 17. So I'd been working for, a year and a half. And, but you're that young. It's just, I didn't even have a credit card. But that was the big eye opener. I found out that I can buy a property. I can borrow, owner financed, $100,000 or $110,000, whatever it was, and then I was offered $20,000 more than I just paid for it right after I closed. And I thought, wow, this is, and that's 20,000 39 years ago. Okay, 39 years ago, and that's like 60,000 now. So it was a big eye opener, and that is why I have lived and breathed real estate ever since. I've bought property every year. Maybe I missed a year. I don't know. I don't think I have ever missed a year that I didn't buy a property, but I've bought as many as 20 properties in a year too. But so I'd probably say I've guessed some 3 to 5 properties a year for 39 years, and that's the kind of experience I've got. I got a lot of it, and the beauty of owner financing, if you can get it, is that the banks don't even see it. It doesn't even count. They don't even factor it on your debt to income ratio because they don't necessarily see it. So, as you own a lot more stuff, that comes into play too. Let's see what we got here. Wait, so contract for 70, 10 down. No, I think he actually got it for 60, and he put 10 down, and then he added another 10. Funny, buddy, just watch it. It's give or take 10 grand. That's he pulled. He put 10,000 down. Owner carried 60 grand, and I might be off. Maybe it was 10 and 70. I don't know, but he put 10 grand. The owner carried the balance on a $70,000 purchase, and he put 10 grand in it, and then he appraised it. The bank appraised it at 150 and gave him a loan for $100,000 against the property, which allowed him to get his money back. Plus, he made $30,000, so it must have been a $60,000 purchase. You can watch and he's done several. He's done 7, I think, right now. That's Ron. Look at my testimonials. Listen, folks, this is the thing you got to do. If somebody's going to ask you for money, they need to demonstrate that they know what they're doing. They just got to demonstrate what they know what they're doing. They should have a record of profits. They should have a record of 1031s. I've done more 1031s than I can even remember. Okay, that's because I have profit that I want to defer. I want to take this profit. I want to pay taxes on it. I want to push it down the road. I want to take all that money and use it to buy something else, and I'll pay the taxes in 10 years or whatever someday, down the road. Sometimes if the profit is not that big and times are tight, then take your lumps, and I've done that too. But a history of profit. I'm a millionaire by real estate. I made my millions in real estate. Okay, profit on property, and of course I have. I don't even know how much. Maybe a couple $100,000 a month at least in rents coming in, and this has been for a long time, and most of my property is all paid for. I have very, very little debt to on my assets, which is why when something bad happens, like we just went through, I can afford to make deals and help tenants, and I've helped a lot of my tenants get by, and that's and it's a win-win deal. They're my customers. Okay. Risha. Also in your book, you find 3 properties and then find the average. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a guideline to give you an idea, Risha. But yeah, I mean, I probably use way more than 3. Is that how many properties it normally takes you to find the average pricing of any? Now, Risha, look, you look at you just listen. What Rish is getting at is I always tell people, look, you don't know what to pay for it unless you know value. You got to know value. Number 1, you have to know property value. You're lost if you don't. You're not going to know a good deal if it hits you over the head, if you don't know what it's worth. And that's why you have to know value, and you'll learn that from me, number 1. It's the most important thing. You got to know what everything's worth. You got to be smarter than the appraiser, than the agents even around you. And believe me, I argue with agents all the time. I had a listing the other day, and they're going, Tom, this property's only worth, $390,000. We're looking at it. And this is one of my listing agents. I said, no, look. And we sold it for $430 like 2 weeks later. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, because he doesn't know. He doesn't know it like I do. You should know your properties better than anybody. You should know your neighborhoods better than anybody. And that's what you can't be a good investor unless you know value. And so, just look at it like anything. If you're looking for a car to buy, pretty soon you realize, oh yeah, this is the average price. And then when you get something for 50 cents on the dollar, you go, oh, I'll take it. Well, why waste that knowledge? You got the knowledge on that particular model and year of vehicle, and you know a deal when you see one. Well, that's like real estate. It's like looking for a car, but except you don't waste all that information, all that time and effort you spent to get the average value of the car that you just bought, that you got at a good deal. That's kind of like that, but you're doing it with real estate. But the difference is when you find the property, you buy it, but you're still looking. You keep looking for another one and another one and another one, and you flip it, and that's that delta between what you paid and what you sold it for. You just keep going for that. And in the beginning, you take that and build up your cash. Then you can start buying things and holding them and pull equity out and buy more with that, and on and on and on. So, yeah, Rish, I look at as many properties as I can, what they've sold for. You can't just look at 3 properties necessarily unless they're exactly the same, right? Yeah, because you're going to make adjustments for a house that is bigger than another house or smaller than the house. Like if you're going to buy a house and it's $150 a foot, and maybe there's a 1,700 square foot house and a 2,300 square foot house, and when you're buying is 2,000. You can do the math. It's not tough, but those are the things you got to look at. Yeah, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. But number 1, folks, get my book. This is peanuts. Listen, I could sell 10,000 of these a month, and it wouldn't keep up with the money that I make in real estate. Okay, it's peanuts. But $10 on Kindle, and you can be reading it in 10 minutes. Just get it on Kindle. Just because I say that because everybody buys it on Kindle and ordering the paperback too. So I like that too. Okay, Mal Hottie. Hey, subscribe, Mal. I don't know your name. You should subscribe. Tom, if you had enough seed capital, seed like growing a seed. If you had enough seed capital for one deal and you're living in an apartment, would you still take a chance today, even if there was a chance you'd get stuck with the monthly payments right now? I would not do anything that feels like a risk. Don't ever take a risk. Listen, I was watching these dodos that were doing this video with Chris Crone the other day. And a nice couple, but I call them dodos because they were doing exactly what you're talking about. They were about to write a check and they were nervous. Listen, when you're nervous, it means you didn't do your homework. When you're nervous, it means you really don't know what the hell you're doing. When you're nervous, it's because you're afraid, okay? Fear is what causes that. You shouldn't be afraid at all. When I buy something, the only nervous I have is I'm afraid they're not going to sign it, okay? That's the nervous you want. Oh, I'm afraid they're not going to sign that deal that's going to make me money. No, listen, because, Mal, that's exactly why I have so much contempt for fake gurus and bad advice and people that make so much out of nothing is because they rob people's future. When they take their seed capital and put it in something that they're never going to see that money. They might not even see that money. They may be dead before that money comes back. Maybe going to their kids, because when you hand your money to somebody else, huge mistake. But when you sign a deal and sign a contract and you're going to buy something, you should know day one. You're buying it for 150. It should be worth 200 minimum, okay? It should be worth more than you're paying for it. And there's not a ton of these deals, but those deals do happen every day, every year. Every day of every year in every town, or every city. There's always somebody dying, getting a divorce, that's depressed, that sells their business, goes bust. There's all kinds of stuff. Like even, there's a tip right now. Think about this. People that own bars, they're starving. They're starving. People that own bars are starving right now because they don't have business. They don't have any business. The cities have shut them down. I think a lot of this is political bullshit, but either way, they're going to suffer until we have a new president, or until we have, the president gets reelected, which that's who I'm rooting for is Trump. But so everything's going to be screwed up. Once the election's done, I think all this stuff goes away. It's not going to be such a big deal. They're trying to keep people from voting. They're trying to keep people at home. They want them to mail in. I don't want to get into it too much, but the bottom line is the guys that own bars, the guys that own businesses that are really affected by this shutdown, they're hurting. If they own other property, they'll probably sell that other property. There's an opportunity to get, I hate to take advantage of somebody that's hurting, but the fact is they probably have other property that you can buy from them because they're trying to survive right now and they don't want to sell the bar. That's their bread and butter. And this is one of the reasons I always, Grant Cardone's talking about how offices are crap and, only apartments are great. That's such bullshit. I have to have hundreds of thousands square feet, 130,000 square feet roughly right now of commercial and office rentals. Guess what? Everybody needs their job. The guy that's self-employed, he needs my shell. He needs that to operate. The barber, the bar, the restaurant, the people that do nails, the people that are in business. I have a nuclear physicist that rents from me. There's all kinds. Guess what? They got to have an office. And a lot of the people that have offices, they have people working at home. They hate it. The people that are working at home hate it, okay? Unless it's like a government job and then they can screw off. They screw off enough inside the building where they work in government because of bureaucracy. But at home, they really get away with murder, okay? But the bottom line is, don't sign anything. If you're nervous, don't do it. Don't sign nothing. But I feel like we had a super strong economy and, and then we're taking a hit right now. And as the Band-Aid wears off, the aid that everybody got, whatever form of aid you got, some sort of PPP check or whatever you got, businesses and, the funds that help people get through, that's wearing off. That's almost done. The benefit of that is going away. And so, but people are getting back to work. And so people are, can survive it. But this is when you're going to kind of see the full fallout, when there's no more aid. Then you kind of see the full fallout. And then you kind of know more where you're at. Well, interest rates are super low. I told my daughter to buy a house. So, and of course, she's got me to help her find a great deal. But I was surprised when she got her pre-qual letter, which everybody, listen, if you're looking to buy something, get qualified. Know what a bank will loan you. You got to get pre-qualified so you know what you have. Because believe me, when you go to buy a property, if you demonstrate that you can borrow the money, that's just like cash to the buyer. They don't care. They'd say, oh, you're pre-qualified, to buy something for $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, millions, whatever. It's important. That is like saying I have clout, I have credibility, and that's what that pre-qual letter says, pre-qualifying letter that says the bank will loan you money. That's important to get that. And you should know it because you should know what kind of value you bring to the table as a buyer. So get a pre-qual letter no matter what. Yeah, okay, the book's a good read. Thank you. Yeah, see, I told you. He's read it on Kindle, and now he plans to get the paperback. I know. And then you can get the Audible. My Audible, I know the book takes 3.5 hours to read because I just read it into a microphone recently, but it takes about a month to come out. Okay, Mal, I know it's a deal. So on that subject, he says, I know it's a deal, not worried that it's not a deal, just wouldn't have enough of the funds to pay both the apartment and the mortgage when you sign, if no one, I don't know enough about your deal, Mal, but if you're worried that you're not going to have enough money after it closes, then I think you need to find something. You need to find a different situation. If nothing else, maybe you need a partner. If you can buy it without a partner and you can get a little capital that'll carry you through that time. But that's you don't sound like you're seasoned enough to do that, to be quite honest. So I would say in your situation, if you know it's a deal, go find somebody to hand it off to. Do an assignment. Just say, hey man, look, I got this great deal. You can see the money here, and just take your 20 grand or 10 grand or whatever, relative to the deal. Take your money and hand it off to somebody else. Because, man, there's nothing worse. One of the reasons I had 4 houses for sale and I jumped that up to 10 houses, when this stuff started, is because I call it the tail wagging the dog. I own a lot of property, but I bought quite a few houses, and I like having cash during tough times. Okay, it makes you feel good because it means you're right. When you're sitting on a pile of cash, and things are going to hell, you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did what I did, because I've leveraged before. That's how I made a lot of money, is leveraging in the beginning. When you're young, you kind of got to leverage to a degree. But there's nothing better than sitting fat and wealthy when things are going down the tubes, because you're just going, oh, glad it's not me. I call it the tail wagging the dog. Well, I don't like the tail wagging the dog. I like to wag the tail. And so that's anyways. So flip it, assign it. You sound a little bit nervous with it. I don't think you should close it. I think you should have somebody else close it and just take some money. Oh, all right. What else, man? We've been on here for an hour. We could probably wrap it up. But look, please subscribe. If you're new to my channel, I'll be back on tonight at 7. I have Chris with me tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. And I try to do something every Tuesday, Thursday night. And I've been trying to hold steady to my 10 o'clock. It was 10:05. Yeah, hour and a half difference between Texas and other places. So that's great, Mal. I didn't recognize your name. I just hadn't seen you. But okay, one more thing here, Dave. If you want a good deal, well, David, if you got to read my book, because it's not. You want to get a pre-qual letter for whatever the bank will loan you. If you can get one for $1 million and you've got that kind of credibility, then they'll give you one. One of the things I do, it's a little bit different. When you get a pre-qual letter, for a house, that's kind of a standard thing they do. But when you get into buying buildings that are millions of dollars and stuff, it's not that much different. I'll get a letter from my bank. I'll say, hey, I need you to give me a letter. Let them know I'm a good guy, and they'll write a letter and say, hey, I've got a banker. I've followed her through 3 different banks, and she can say, look, I've loaned Tom, tens of millions of dollars over the last 10 or 20 years, and if the property qualifies, we'd be glad to loan Tom the money to buy it. This could be a property for $3 million or $5 million or whatever. Okay, hey, what's up? Why does the course cost so much? Is there a hotel room? I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? Travel and learn? Oh, not travel and learn. You're the worst. Travel and learn, you need to think and listen, because if you're the same guy that I had here before. Right, no, yeah, Lexington, I think you're explaining that, right? You're explaining that to David. Yeah, you're getting pre-qualified. They'll say, we'll loan up to $320,000. This is my daughter's letter I'm thinking about right now. She's got a pre-qualified letter. It says, we'll loan, her up to $320,000 with 20% down. So with $64,000 down, or whatever, she can buy a $320,000 home. Really what they're saying is they'll loan her $260,000. Yes. Well, then that's what you do, man. Just listen. That's what you do. Just listen. Listen and look at the questions. And hey, man, thanks, funny buddy. I appreciate you stopping in and watching. And yeah. Look, I get a lot of people on here. Listen, I don't blame anybody for ever being skeptical. and not trusting. In fact, I advise it. I advise it. People need to demonstrate to you that they know what they're doing before you ever trust them or give them money to teach you anything. It'll come out and, listen, I can tell you, you can buy a stack of books and they'll collect dust, okay? You can buy a course that costs $500 and guess what? It'll collect dust. That's why I'm a firm believer in the mentoring. I actually teach you personally, and I do that for 4 hours a Saturday. You get a month's worth, and then you can still come back all year. For a whole year, you can jump in all the other classes that I do after that. Because I want quality. I want quality people. I wouldn't take just anybody either, by the way. And, I told somebody I said, you know what, man, probably not a good idea. I'm not going to say why, but it just wasn't a good idea. But it's not on audiobook yet, but just get the book, man. Just get the book. You can listen. Best audiobook you can have for free right now is just listen to my videos. But and in all honesty, the audiobook is good because it is the book and it's concentrated. I can tell you, when you write a book, you concentrate on what's important, and that's what I do here. And you can look at the reviews. People that know what they're doing have given me fantastic reviews. So you guys have a great day. Come back tonight at 7, and if you guys put in the comments in this video, please like, subscribe, and anything you want to talk about, I'm happy to. See you.